Hello friends, welcome to my channel Upcoming. Today I am going to read editorial In India Education Without Employment by Gautam R. Desiraju and Mirle Surappa. In defending the educational policies of the present government, it has been claimed that education has been freed from the shackles of previous governments. Utter tinkering labs, coding right from middle school, the recruitment of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe teachers, and the empowerment of Muslim girl students. But primarily it is stated that the National Education Policy 2020 will enable an educational renaissance. In all these utterances, the seminal point that is forgotten is that our educational system remains clueless about the shape-shifting marketplace, namely the employability of our graduates as a workforce. Education has many purposes. It enables, it innervates and elevates. As Vivekananda said, education empowers one to stand on one's own feet. After 75 years of foolishly gambling excellence for equity, India has squandered both. Young people are unable to find meaningful employment that is commensurate with my training that they may have received. The degrees they have are not worth the paper on which they are printed. It is irrelevant that these problems were created or ignored by the Congress pot or the Bharatiya Janata Party kettle. The present lawfully elected government has the responsibility to cleanse these Augean stables. Never mind that the NAPE 2000 is the fourth such document that was supposed to do this after the Radha Krishnan Commission 1948, the Kothari Commission 1966, and the Officers Commission 1985. A good education is one with an optimum of depth and breadth. Depth alone imparts the technical expertise for employability. Breadth provides flexibility in a rapidly changing artificial intelligence driven ecosystem, where those in the job market need to constantly retrain themselves to avoid extinction. A high rate of educated unemployment. There is barely any evidence, 4 years on, that any of the NAPE recommendations have been put into effect. In 2025, India's overall graduate employability rate is 42.6%, which is practically the same as the 44.3% of 2023. Similarly, knowledge-intensive employment in the year 2023 only stands at 11.72%. Multiple entries and exists a hallmark of NAPE have only created low-quality, poorly paying e-commerce jobs. The high rate of educated unemployment today shows that education in India is actually disempowering students. The NAPE is a retreat to the Vannevar Bush model of the mid 20th century US without its financial cushioning. The NAPE is outdated and financially unviable in the India of 2025, with lip service paid to new ideas such as India knowledge systems, mother tongue learning, changing history textbooks, flexible curricula, and a complete absence of methodology to effect its recommendations. The NAPE is a dead fish in the water. It depends on course choice alone to correct imbalances, notwithstanding that the course content itself may be unworkable. It is noteworthy that there was not a single member from industry or the business sectors in the committee that drafted the NAPE. A good university seamlessly integrates breadth and with depth. It is claimed that there has been a remarkable improvement from the past in that 11 Indian universities are ranked in the top QS World University Ranking 500, clearly echoing the selective narrative of Nunzio Quacquarelli, CEO of QS, who was generous in his praise of India. While releasing WUR 25, Mr. Quacquarelli quoted the 318% increase in the performance of Indian universities as the highest growth among the G20 nations, quietly avoiding mention of both India's low ranking above 100 and low publication quality. To wit, India's category normalized citation impact rank, an indicator of publications quality, during 2008 to 19, which was 17th among 19 countries in the G20, inched up admirably to 16th position in 2024. Such increases have been touted by the ministry in its Press Information Bureau press release of February 13, 2025. It has also been claimed that this is the year when Indian universities showcased the highest performance improvement among all G20 nations. It is unbelievable that in this digital era, the government has failed to recognize and understand the commercial implications of QS, the and similar agency, and the reasons for their skewed and deceptive analysis. A missing transparency on projects. Mega research projects were carried out with great fanfare and amidst a media blitz in the past. These included the New Millennium Project, CSIR NMITLI, the $10 Akash tablet project, and the imprint impacting research innovation and technology project MHRD. These projects were in the limelight for years, but the public is not aware of the emergence of the intended products or processes from these projects, on which hundreds of crores of taxpayer money has been spent. It does not matter whether these projects were initiated or shut down by the Congress or the BJP. What we as taxpayers want to know is if these projects were value for money. India's Global Innovation Index represents the innovation capabilities of India. Our ranks in 2014, 15 and 2024 were 76, 81 and 39. Malaysia and Turkey lead India in G2nd with ranks of 33 and 37 respectively. The G2nd label reveals the world's top S&T clusters into innovation metrics, published patent publications and published scientific articles. India has 4 clusters with ranks of 56 Bengaluru, 63 Delhi, 82 Chennai and 84 Mumbai. The Bengaluru cluster is often touted as an unparalleled rival to Silicon Valley, particularly with respect to the numbers of startups and unicorns. However, its 56th rank needs to be compared to the 6th ranked Silicon Valley cluster. In terms of cluster intensity of the top 100, Bengaluru at 94, followed by Chennai at 96, Delhi at 98, and Mumbai at 99, pale in comparison to San Francisco Silicon Valley at 2 and Cambridge at 1. The number of patent cooperation treaty applications per capita and scientific publications per capita for the Silicon Valley clusters are 7,885 and 9,211 respectively. The corresponding numbers for the Bengaluru cluster are 313 and 1077. Samsung Electronics, South Korean, is the leading patentee in Bengaluru. No further comment is necessary. The subject of startups. There is no point talking about startups when we don't know what they mean. Startups in China, the US, and Israel tackle semiconductor technology, how to refine rare earth elements with ecological sensitivity, and how to make metformin cheaper. In contrast, our government lauds new apps that hawk food products. India cannot have startups without indigenous technology. It cannot have indigenous technology without indigenous science. It cannot have indigenous science without indigenous quality education. Sans political agendas, two-wheeler kiranas are not startups. Contrary to the thinking of the Education Ministry, the University Grants Commission remains an instrument of control. It always has been, and there is no justification for this antediluvian organization to have both regulatory and financial control over universities. Can the UGC present a single piece of hard data showing that changes in pedagogy or syllabus have had a positive effect? In other words, how relevant are these changes, if any, to industry scaling and employability? India would probably be better off if the UGC was shut down. Sitting UGC chairs, vice chancellors, directors, and ministers need not appear in national Delhi's peddling their policies and propaganda ad nauseum. Their job is to execute policy, not talk about it, and to ensure decent employability for the youth. It is our job as independent academics to write in the newspapers. If they do not do their job, when stupidity is considered patriotism, it is unsafe to be intelligent. Isaac Asimov. Thank you for listening.